It's all she wrote. Pretty cool game. Uh, I think like it was the moment when Neeb was able to get that hallucinated Phoenix into the third that really put him into that defensive position. He sent it that way like right through, and then he sees 3 gateways being made, and Pili Pili had like a couple, like I think like 4 more behind it, 3 or 4 more behind it.
Definitely like 2 scenarios could have happened that would have tripped up Neeb's otherwise good game. And that's one, he thinks that there's like not the robo, or he just like constantly only thinks about the Stargate in the first couple minutes of that game, doesn't get the scout and
The scout, true.
or a second time, like again, he doesn't get the scout and doesn't see that there's a bunch of gateways on the way. But I have a feeling he thought it was going to be aggressive, even before he got that hallucinated Phoenix in. He's like, okay, this guy opened up one base for so long.
Yeah,
something.
Probably doesn't want to go into like a full-on macro game, right? So
yeah,
I like the idea though. Yeah, saving up the energy on the Phoenixes, but I feel like he used them a little too late. And it probably was because Neeb was messing with him on the other side of the map, so it gave him a bit of time to, or no, it took his attention off it for long enough that Neeb was able to equalize when his economy started kicking in more, and just his tech advantage too, and the +1 finishing was big time too.
Yeah, so that puts Neeb, I guess, at a perfect score.
Yep.
Yeah, pick number 1. And I think the next match you're going to be casting is going to be Jig. Oh, I just got an invite right here.
Yep.
Jig versus Suppy, yeah.
Yeah, so another mirror match. It is going to be a ZVZ. Are you good to go right into it? Or I don't think we need to go to a break here. I think we could just jump right into it.
I have been casting for nearly 30 minutes, so like I'm going to need like a fan and like energy drink.
Yep.
Like, dang, guys.
Splash some water on the face. It's time, yo. This is the big league now.
Yeah, exactly. This is where the real work comes in.
You are on that premier caster level now, yo. So you and Fear Dragon have transcended.
Yeah, where's my talent management going to get me, like, fetch me a water?
You don't have a water boy? Oh my god.
Mm-mm.
Right, well, I'm looking for an esports job, so holla. Yeah, we're gonna be going into this game. Yeah, we're not gonna go to a break. We're just gonna jump right into it. So that was a relatively short series, and this could be because it is another ZVZ with at least one Zerg player that I know loves to get aggressive a lot. But yeah, man, you know how ZVZ can go.
I do. I know a thing or two about that ZVZ.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. That was a really, really entertaining ZVZ in Montreal, which I was pretty happy about.
Yeah. Oh, I am ready to go.
But Suppy versus Jig's gonna be interesting. Jig, like definitely that guy still doesn't have much of a name outside of like people that I guess just cast with North American events, so like Fear Dragon or of course the US champ. But Suppy had a much bigger name historically, right? Like this guy was one of the only contenders.
Prehistorically, like this guy.
Yeah. He contended against Koreans, like not on the level that Neeb is right now, for instance, but he definitely did. And just as that guy that everyone's looking towards. So being young and on Evil Geniuses, and did eventually focus on school, and that's all well and good. But he's taking up the game again and finds a lot of fun.
Yeah. This guy, he didn't have his priorities straight and decided to go for the school, like doctor, medical thing and getting a wife and stuff. And he realizes where his heart truly lies. And that is right here on Ascension to Ire, here for Kings of the North. Guys, get hype. It is going to be in the top left-hand corner from Root Gaming. It is the Blue Zerg player, Jig. Getting jiggy with it. Na, na, na.
Dang, that zoom was set up. It was like, I'm ready to go. Big zoom. Yeah, in the bottom right is the red Zerg. He is Suppy.
Conan.
Yeah. People love saying his. I feel like there are some people that just like using the real name of players, and that's all well and good. And some people even find it weird when we don't, I suppose. Like when I call you Zuko, I guess. But
I know.
It's natural.
I don't think, Kwame, like,
Yeah. But then, like, everyone loves using Suppy's real name. I guess because it's kind of a cool, like, first name, Conan.
Yeah, I don't know any other Conans, though. I don't think I've ever met one. Maybe at, like, someone that, took my order at some place that I, just saw the name tag. But I never met an actual Conan and, like, been his friend. Suppy's my number one. He's my number one Conan. My only.
You ever met Conan the Barbarian?
I didn't meet him. No.
I
watched him on TV.
There you go.
I was like, you know what? I'll never have. No, you know what? Conan the Barbarian is the reason why I decided to try to get the best abs I could ever get in my life.
Yeah?
All because of him. Yep.
Sometimes when I think of like, what really would motivate me to do something again, like martial arts, I think of Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
How much you just wanted to be all those guys. Dragon Ball Z.
I know. Like if only I could have the figure of an anime character.
Yeah,
One
right.
Punch Man. See, he's the true hero, you know, because he doesn't have like a crazy anime like or muscular figure. He's just a regular looking guy, average, and
Yeah, but he's bald.
everybody. Yeah, that's it.
I had to work so hard that he went bald, and I don't really want to do that.
Nah. All right. Well, it has been a little bit of a tame opener, guys. It was a hatch first from both players. A little bit of a difference here is that Jig is taken out of gas. Just one, I believe. Oh, they both have actually. So, yeah, almost identical builds coming out of both of them here.
Yeah, I think
Nothing
there was a bit of a something was a little bit different early on, but like it obviously isn't very much. Only catching up to each other's one drone lead every now and then is basically what's happening here. So finally, a little bit of a difference. Baneling nest on the way already for Suppy. Could definitely go into, if he like made the next round of larva lings, then so be it. But he's actually sending a drone over to take a third base, so just defensively timed.
Yeah, I was wondering if one of them were saving up for the hatchery. It almost looked like Jig was saving up for the hatchery there, but he decided to go for that baneling nest first. And he hasn't even taken a hatchery. He's actually taken a spine crawler.
Yeah.
I don't know what tipped him off to that, or if he's just kind of like...
I think he canceled it as soon as he saw the third base was down.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely, some Zerg players are a little... Of course, they're mindful of any two base all-ins. Basically, you don't really drone the natural, and you just send lings across the map, and that can be very scary to deal with a spine crawler. Definitely, it usually means too that they're not going to do that when you see the spine crawler, so you can play a little bit greedy beyond that. But they both saw third bases, and now they both want to get an opportunity to cancel the bases. So Suppy already providing aggression with a couple banelings in the middle of the map.
Yeah, it looks like Suppy is going to be that person putting it on, and Jig holding on here, trying to defend his third that he did end up taking a bit later. So Suppy's third is going to kick in to effect a little bit earlier than that of Jig's, but of course Jig is going to have defender's advantage, and it's, I mean, if, as long as his micro is okay, I assume. I don't know what the server is, but
I'm not sure.
Pretty damn good at this.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good. I would say for Suppy, he does want to do a little bit of damage, but even if that damage is actually, for instance, right now, Jig getting supply blocked or over making lings, and that is actually damage. So kind of job accomplished already. He's caught up in drones, he's on his way to a Roach Warren, and that supply block for Jig was pretty long lasting. It was pretty harsh. Yeah,
it's pretty big. I think with Suppy having that earlier third here, and he even got the Roach Warren earlier, I mean... It's very, very minimal lead, but I would, obviously give the slight advantage to Suppy. Maybe putting the fear in Jig already and making him make that spine crawler, you know, having it be on his side of the map. He's maybe a little bit more timid in droning, but I don't think so. He's starting to.
Drone. You're not supposed to be here.
What are you doing? I want to be a ling. I wish I was two.
It was bait, man. He's like, the ling's gonna come and get that, and the baneling's gonna roll in. That should have been amazing. The banelings do roll in, but they don't do anything.
Yeah, and the funny part is drones can actually take two baneling hits too. So, if only it wasn't a genius move there, but he's gonna get the hell out of there.
Yeah. So all said and done, Suppy takes a bit of an economy lead. I think that's been somewhat consistent. It should be income graph actually. Actually, it's been like Jig a little more, but it's like so slight. It doesn't really matter. But Suppy now making the roaches first. He's going to be getting to, I guess, his own roach speed, but maybe not to his own roach +1. He never got an evolution chamber.
Oh, yeah. He got it very late.
Yeah.
So Jigs is already on the way, and his lair is already done. So he hasn't committed to, or rather, he hasn't invested in the roach speed yet. And I mean, at least getting the +1 is nice, but Suppy has a little bit of a plan of his own as he puts down his spire. Where's he hiding it? At the natural. It's in the natural.
Okay, so in the natural, Jig might be mindful to scout for that. You know, spire after roach opener certainly is not rare. You got to be on guard for just a certain amount of minutes, really, after you see the front wall off. I mean, they'll still get +1. They'll still get roach speed, so you can't really tell much from that. You literally have to see the spire, and then maybe you attack, maybe you don't. I think if Jig had roach speed a little bit sooner, maybe he actually tries the attack, but it only just started.
He delayed it.
Already across the map, basically, but it should be fine for Suppy to get some mutas.
Yeah, you can never feel too comfortable about it, but Jig was able to get the scout on the spire, so he's immediately adding a Hydra Den. And, I mean, the roach into mutas play, I've seen Nerchio do it a lot. You know, I don't know how many people like do it like straight up like this. You know, sometimes you'll see it where they are going into Roach Ravager and they're kind of going into the mid game and then they go into Spire, but you put that down before you start getting road speed, and it's almost like you're trying to go for the great bamboozling of 2017 here.
There definitely is a hopeful surprise factor to mutas, even off 3 bases or 2 or whatever. Like, it's, you know, if you can get away with it, then that'd be great. But Jig is responding in all the right ways. Hydra Den, infestation pit, all the spore crawlers, apparently, even one outside to protect the queens. Like, everything is good there. Suppy's still gonna get maybe a couple overlords. He's still gonna get dominating map vision, which he already has. Like,
look at the overlords, yeah.
gone for mutas.
What?
Like, Suppy actually did supply block for the rest of the game. This is
that's awesome.
Overlord spread.
Well, Jig though, yeah, like you were saying, whenever you're able to react to this in time, it feels pretty good, right? Like, you're not gonna. I don't feel like the mutas should do anything too much. Like, yeah, sure, they're gonna get this overlord here, but once the Hydras are out, they should be able to, especially because he was already getting his upgrades pretty quickly. Like, that +2 is going to be really nice. I think the worst part about it, though, is that it does delay your 4th if you're, like, so focused on the defense of your 3rd. So, like, Suppy's already going for the 4th. I think his is done.
Yeah, it's done.
Like,
I mean, yeah, mutas, even if they're not a surprise, even if they don't kill a bunch of roaches or drones or whatever.
You respect them.
Yeah, exactly.
Respect on the mutas, man.
You gotta respect them. They're gonna kill your overlords. That's 100 minerals here and there. They're gonna take away that map vision and most likely get a cancel on a 4th if you are too overeager to go to it. So you have to kind of acknowledge you're gonna be slower to the expansion.
Yeah, and I mean, even being down by 5 drones or 6 drones kind of sucks. He had to invest in spore crawlers while Suppy did not. But Suppy's looking to get a little bit aggressive himself, and this is going to hit before +2.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Suppy only went for 6 mutas. He didn't even go for +1 on them. So he went like really hard into drones first. So at 70 drones, he's really okay there. But then roaches right after. And he's just going to have an army supply lead. But he's going to be going up against infestors. Those few fungals could be a big difference.
Look, 27 Banes being made. Remember, these Banes are not going to have... Oh, they do have speed. Wow, Suppy.
Yeah.
I thought they weren't going to have speed. I was like, I think he's just going for some craziness here. But,
yeah. Well... I mean, if they had made a lot of Hydras, this would be a brilliant move. Even if it is just pure Roach, still, they might get just too good a splash to be ignored. It's all coming down to the infestors.
Yeah, well, here we go. This is a very crazy engagement. All of the Banelings get fungled on the top side, and even on the bottom, a good amount of them do. But the Concave looking a little bit better for Suppy here. And even just the army count, like his
oh god,
skyrocketed. Holy crap.
Yeah, the Banelings just hit the heart of a Roach army. So even though they can take a punch, it was just way too many Banelings. Looks like Suppy is going to take a victory after this. He's down an upgrade, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that was like an uppercut. Like, you know,
GG.
Suppy takes game number 1. Yeah, that was actually pretty sick. And those kind of engagements are always so crazy because like they either go really well for you or your Banelings go get fungled or they blow up on a small pack of roaches and then all you have are roaches right there. So because the Banelings expend themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was going up a ramp into what I thought was a jig that knew it was coming, but even still, the fungals were like, I mean, a lot of them weren't there. I think he had 3 and he was going up to 4 infections, I want to say. I only saw like 2 of them really do anything, and obviously most of the Banelings actually got to connect instead of popping on the ramp or coming in way too late.
Like, there was a lot of Banelings that got fungled there. That was at least like, I want to say like 8 to 10.
They did, but I don't think they got popped. So like, it's funny because I think, if I remember correctly, the regeneration kicks in, so one fungal doesn't kill them.
Actually kill them, yeah.
But it like should if regeneration didn't actually exist on Zerg. I think that's the way it goes anyway.
I see.
I don't actually remember because the health buff changed it.
That too, yeah. I think before they did end up surviving, like they would have survived with the tiniest bit of HP.
Yeah, now they survive with a tiny bit more. So, well. Anyway, the point is those Banelings ended up connecting, and I think he also was so worried about getting the fungals down, he didn't even think about splitting, which you don't usually really have to worry about as a Zerg player, but
yeah,
you always do.
You got to A move, close your eyes, and then if you see the victory screen when your eyes open up, then you did good, kid. You did good. So, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be jumping onto game number 2, which will be on Interloper. And once again, if you're just joining us, I'm Tempo, joined by Zombie Grub, and you know the casting duo. That is quite a rarity, I would say. I think we've done a few casts before, but
yeah,
like 2016 maybe.
We cast at Gameland. couple months ago.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Game Line was fun. It was. Yeah, I do want to, of course, give a shout out to the sponsors that make this event possible in the first place. Of course, one being chairsforgaming.com. Go ahead and grab those DX Racer chairs, and you can use the code ESChamp in order to get that discount. So if you're looking for a new gaming chair and you haven't got one already, definitely do it up. You'll be supporting King of the North. Definitely be supporting esports, and much love if you do. Let us know. Take some pictures. Send them on Twitter if you get something new. But also our other sponsor is Asus Republic of Gamers, which do supply all of the hardware that you will the players will be playing on at the live event, which I need to remind you is October 14th, I believe. So in just about a month, the live event will be going down in Toronto. So if you are in the area or you want to make a nice trip, definitely check it out. But our final sponsor is Match Arena, and they provide ways for you to contribute to the prize pool and support these players even further. So using the code KOTN4, you can add $1 to the prize pool, and I'm sure the players would definitely appreciate that.
Yep.
Wow.
It's definitely a long-running tournament at this point, I would say, and just like really cool. Season 4, so I guess it doesn't sound like that's a high number, but I think it's been going on for years then.
Mm-hmm.
So that's still pretty impressive in esports.
Well, it's not like a Limo League where it's like, you get like, what is it? What number is a Limo League on?
We got to 100, so 100? I think the last one was 101.
Yeah, okay, thought so. Like, that's a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it weekly. That tends to happen.
Right? If we could do KOTN weekly, I mean, I don't know if Drekken would be able to fund that, but we'll see. We'll see. In the bottom right-hand corner of Interloper, representing Root Gaming, he lost the last game, but he can bring it back. It is Jig.
In the top left, as the Red Zerg, he is Suppy for Sloth Esports.
The newest member, if I remember correctly. Shortly after Cheeseadelphia 5, he was talking about it being in the works. He's like, I might be joining a new team. And then it was finally announced on Twitter like a week later, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I got to talk to Suppy at Atlanta, which was hosted a tournament, and he showed up, which was cool. It was his first offline tournament, I guess, like technically, even though it was like an open LAN thing, whatever, in a long time. He's still working. He still is going to, he's working towards being a dermatologist, I believe, is what he said he was thinking about.
Nice.
I think he's like in his master's studies now.
Yeah, man.
PhD, something like that.
Yeah, he's a smart kid. Not just in his
cookie.
play, but this kid, it just makes me like mind blown that somebody any StarCraft 2 player that is like pursuing studies or doing this or takes a long break and comes back and still does good. It's like, damn,
man.
I
mean, what I think of these like the young guys in StarCraft that do really well and then just kind of peter out. Like, I mean, Xenocider as well and Suppy. They chose to focus on one thing or another. Illusion, I guess, is another one.
Oh yeah, true.
They chose to focus on one thing or another, and they didn't really ever get to truly like. They didn't choose to go pro, right? So there could have been a higher potential even. But sometimes, I think of like, you ever watch The Guild?
I didn't. I have heard of it though.
Oh man, there's a like awesome quote that is actually like Felicia Day is her name, right?
Yep.
She actually did. She was a child genius violinist. And so when she introduces herself on the show, she's like, "I used to be a child genius, and then I grew up." Like, this is what I think of.
Like, damn, like the harsh reality where it's just
exactly. Super harsh reality. I mean, it's like, I'm joking here, right? Like, I'm not trying to take a dig at anyone, but it's definitely like, well, he was one of the superstars a couple of years ago, decided to, do the adult thing and go to school and focus on school, and yet still has this awesome skill base that he can kind of work off of once he comes back and very quickly shoot up to be a good player.
Yeah, so true. So, I mean, the fact that you're not even fully committed to it and are still able to be at least competitive is a very, very good talent to have, especially when it comes to the best game in the world, of course. So, I mean, shoot.
Yeah, exactly. Best game in the world. Oh. There was a StarCraft Remastered LAN at Montreal.
Wait, what?
Yo, I didn't know that either.
Like a BYOC or?
Yeah, bring your own computer. But if like I had known, I would have been like, hold on, guys, I can't do this. I'll win this real quick.
Yo, you probably could have. I like no one talked about it that I even know of. So
Right. Yeah, I was so surprised to hear that. I know they had StarCraft 2 last year as Atlanta as well because it was invites, top 16, but very different. But it's either here nor there. We do have our ZVZ now developing a little bit more. Jig is going to get into the main base. Oh, he almost stopped a little prematurely.
Sees
Sees
the
the lair.
landing. Yeah, that's so important. And he saw the gas at the natural, but I don't think he saw the one in the main. But he can assume that if you're gonna get a lair this early, then you're definitely doing something, not, I would say, that ordinary. It'd probably either be a 2-base spire. Sometimes people like to go for it. Like if it's a Cham build, is what who calls it? Scarlet calls it. It'll
Cham
be
builds.
Midas with roaches, but skipping speed or something like that. But it is
Yeah.
spire.
There is that chance, especially off of 3 base, that they are just playing so greedy that they're just holding off on putting on the Roach and Evolution Chamber. I think Nurchio does that sometimes. They'll start a lair for a good 20, 30 seconds and then put down the Roach Warren.
Yep.
But we still see that Suppy is going for Roach Warren. He definitely added on that Spire first. So that is why it was a much faster Spire. Jig, seeing that, is going to maybe try and punish it. He's getting nothing but Roaches right now, not going for his own Evolution Chamber. Nope. And wants to break down these rocks to give him more paths of attack.
Oh, the queens can't. Okay, I was gonna say they couldn't even hit those lings, man. But this could be pretty big. Especially, I would say if it was a really, really early spire, then it's usually better here for Suppy. It was pretty early, but he did end up going for that 3rd base. And I'm also wondering just if Jig is gonna go for like a big roach ling attack, or if he's fine just being here on 3 bases. When you make this many roaches and lings, you usually are gonna be doing something. He doesn't even have a lair either.
Yeah, exactly. He skipped lair, he skipped +1. His drone count's really not that bad comparatively, but it is just going to be a big all in here. Getting that even more overlords to pop out as many roaches as possible. Lings for fast reinforcements, and Suppy still going to try and fit in those mutas, but they might be able to deal with the roaches eventually. All the lings getting in every single base is going to be really tough for them to deal with.
Yeah, there's going to be banelings here too, right? Suppy knew that this was a possibility. That's why he destroyed the rocks. And he's also making a bunch of spine crawlers, but I don't know. He's starting to uproot them now, and it's not even like it's that many at the front. Okay, now they're starting to get to firing, but there's 4 of them. The mutas are out.
Yeah, Jake really has to push as hard and direct as possible to choose somewhere to go and go for it. But his lings are already mostly dead. They didn't actually get into the main or the 3rd base like I thought they would. Drones are going to be just pushed through here, and the mutas are right on top of the roaches, doing as much damage as possible with those blade worms. I'm not sure Jake's gonna be able to do enough damage with this.
Yeah, he's gonna have to basically have some miracle baneling hits, but he doesn't even have any banelings here. The roaches are gonna start to get their damage done now, and the mutas are starting to get to a scary number that, yeah, there go the roaches. I will take that any day of the week, getting that tech up, or rather the tech advantage, and not die. Only being 6 workers down is really not that big of a deal.
No, it was a very good hold, really, for Suppy. Jig has so much, because he didn't go for a lair, can get a hydrogen, he can get an infestation pit. So while Mass Queens could maybe deal with it initially with spore crawlers, of course, it is a case where you're just going to be pinned back to each hatchery. And in fact, he's not even able to get to enough queens to really help out here.
And with the spore crawler going down, there's going to be no real way to deal with this 3rd base getting held. Oh, but
this is nice.
Oh, that's a huge ling run by.
Yeah, really nicely done by Jig. If there's 2 banelings, this actually could have been just avoided, but this is going to be a lot of drone damage. Suppy, though, if he hadn't brought back the mutas, he maybe could have just killed the 3rd base outright.
Yeah, I think that was what he was hoping for, but a really sick run by from Jig. And, well, I mean, I thought it was going to be a little bit more damage, but 7 workers is still pretty nice here. And keeping his 3rd base, if he can get his queens back up, even get some spore crawlers, that would be nice. But I don't know. I think he's kind of I don't know. I'm feeling like what kind of position he's in if he didn't do it quick enough, because the mutas are going to come back and reign supreme once again.
Yeah, that was a really awesome move to get the mutas off his back, to give him some time. It definitely, if it had been before he lost his queens, maybe he's at that critical amount, but he's still not, as you can see here. And then it also, as you said, I thought it was going to do a lot more drone damage. 7 was like okay, but not exactly what he needed. So this minute mutas at 16, almost a +1, just ransacking everything.
Oh, yeah. Jig has nowhere else to go. There are 2 spore crawlers being made at the 3rd base, and only just now beginning the one at the natural. Of course, there's one on the outside of it, but the mineral line is not going to be protected. But another run by from Jig. Going to be pretty sick if he can get some good kills, but spine crawler and some lings at the natural where all of Suppy's drones are. I think he's going to be able to not take a crazy amount of damage, but I mean, look.
It's like
It kind of was.
they're actually trading drone damage here, but the problem is that Suppy's army can't be dealt with, whereas Jig's army will always eventually be dealt with. Again, Queen's being picked off just before they have transfuse energy, and while Suppy hasn't killed bases yet, I feel like that's only like a matter of time. All it needs is to actually get some stable gas mining.
Yeah.
And he'd be fine.
I mean, Jig hasn't even been able to get up to lair. He's been doing an awesome job with those run bys, I'll admit, though. To be able to make the drone count 18 to 20 is pretty impressive. But like you said, these mutas are just going to keep growing in number, and he already has +1. And each time one of these queens get picked off, he has to make another set of queens, and then they start off with the base amount of energy, and the real strength in them lies in the transfuses. So it's like, eventually there's going to be enough mutas that they can just jump on top of the sport crawlers, and
yeah,
I don't know if Jig will be able to handle it.
A couple things I'd like to see from Suppy. Definitely some defensive banelings to make sure this doesn't really just become the wonkiest game ever. And also maybe an overseer. Both, require gas, which he's absolutely lacking, so I understand. But taking out this creep tumor so the queens can't defend quickly was pretty good.
Remember, Suppy rushed out the lair so fast that he doesn't even have a baneling nest.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
He's not even able to make banelings right now, so he has to rely on like maybe a few roaches or like these spine crawlers and queens, which is pretty nice.
Well, queens yet again. Really any transfuses.
Girl, no. JJ. Hot damn. Jeez, man, these 2-0s. Very quick series.
What does that put Suppy, I guess, overall here? I think he lost to Scarlet early on. Scarlet's Protoss, actually.
it was pretty funny. Scarlet did the Mass Oracle the first game, and then, or maybe it was either the first or the second. I can't remember, but it was one game of Mass Oracle, and then another game of like she played. It was almost like a Heart of the Swarm style, where she went into a Stargate, I think, into Robo.
Okay. Well, she takes pride in that she really believes that everyone has stolen her build, the oracles. She's really proud of that she made the poison that is Mass Oracles and people.
Yep. How can you be proud of such a thing?
I know, right? But it looks like our players are actually here and ready. So the final match of the night is going to be Scarlet versus Masa.
Sweet. All right. So that is going to be a ZVT. It's going to be pretty awesome. In order to go and finish off tonight, which has already been very quick. PvP was a 2-0 there for Neeb, for those that are just joining us. And then that last matchup was Suppy being able to 2-0 Jig. And now we're going to go into our first non-mirror match of the night, which would be pretty fun if there are any other Terran players or Terran fans or non-mirror match fans out there.
Yeah. I wonder how this is going to go. I had high hopes for Masa after doing so well in the Challenger for Montreal, which I think he did take on Scarlet. And maybe even won. He definitely won one game, but I can't remember if he won all of them.
It was just weird. You know what he said?
What?
He said that he was watching GSL the night before.
Yeah.
And literally was like, I didn't even practice it. I just wanted to see if it would work. And that's like Masa to the fullest, where it's just like, okay, I guess I'll try this. And if it doesn't work,
yeah.
He's like a really freaking good Terran player. Like if he just was like, I'm just going to play.
But it was so awkward to cast it because it was kind of obvious. He had it practically. He had just watched GSL, which I didn't get to watch, but Nate was talking about, so I knew the general gist of things. And to see him not work, and it was okay, I guess you can try that. You can see if it really is the quintessential Terran build. I mean, certainly everyone else is starting to do it too.
Yeah, you're seeing
mech
people try it out.
What's going to happen for the next couple of weeks. So beware on ladders, Zerg players. You're going to be double port bansheed every single time.
Yeah, getting this hyperflight rotors that everybody was making fun of before. And I mean, even Semper was going for mech in his games, Kings of the North yesterday. So if somebody like Semper, he's getting a little taste of it. He's starting to dip his toes into that mech style. I feel like I don't know. I mean, it's a lot to explore, right? A lot of people kind of write off mech.
Yeah, of course, because there's every time the mech comes through, it also leaves, right? Like not quickly, but kind of innovation. This guy is finally living up to his name, by the way.
Yo,
So
like for the first time ever, right? Like, I was like,
well, so a year ago or two, well, yeah, a year ago, he was doing the cyclone shenanigans, right? Which was kind
true.
of a thing. So that was like the first time you were like, oh, finally, like he's innovating something. And
Hmm.
it died. And then Gumiho was doing the mech, the Thor drops, which is still a thing. So I don't want to say that it died, but like it
Yeah.
was like a phase where it's like only now once in a blue moon type thing.
Like,
And then innovation comes back again with new mech builds, and suddenly he's the best innovator in the world, and everyone's going to be copying it
of
for
course.
next month or two.
Yeah, we'll see if it's here to stay. I'm always down for different styles of play, and you just hear everybody like Big Mac viable, like this is ridiculous, like I can't believe it. It's
Oh
like,
my god! I wonder who you're making fun of.
no, I have a friend that like I used to play StarCraft. That's him. He sounds exactly like that. That was him. Sorry, but I did that subconsciously. I'm really sorry, but
Oh
either
god.
way. I think we are gonna go to a quick little break, by the way, while we get ready. But I will, let you guys know about our sponsors once again. I know it seems like, yo, this guy is a broken record, but I am a music kind of guy, so I'm just trying to fix myself here. But of course, Chairs for Gaming that do make the DX Racer chairs that you can order and get a discount on by using the code ESChamp. And then Asus Republic of Gamers that would provide all of the hardware, and damn, they have some pretty dank hardware themselves. If you want to upgrade your computer with, you can check it out. Asus ROG. And then our final sponsor, Matcherino, that are allowing this prize pool to become even bigger than it already is. And it'd be awesome if you were able to, contribute to it if you want to. You can check out some of the rewards that are there and add $1 to the prize pool with the code KOTN4, and we can watch that prize pool grow together. Started from the bottom and it can get way up to the top. So hopefully we'll see you guys at the live event October 14th in Toronto. And yeah, when we come back, we will jump right into Interloper. So we'll see you then. Don't